Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube video once again. On this video I'm going to be reviewing, or I'm going to be unboxing the Revell 124 scale F2005 Formula 1 car. Alright, so before we dive in, let's just look around the box. Alright, so as you can see at the sides there's some nice pictures of the car already assembled and painted. Okay, this kit has engine detail, as you can see here. Some nice details of the brake disc. Alright, quite intricate bodywork on this car. Yeah, this is a 2005 car, and here you have some information on the model itself in various languages, and this one is English. So let's see. True to the original, front and rear spoilers, multi-part engine, rotating wheels. Alright, so yeah, I'm not sure if you guys have seen my earlier video on the Revell B194, but I did mention that the older or the 90s Formula 1 Revell kits, right, the wheels can't be rotated, because you have to glue them in place. Alright, but I did realize that the early 2000 or the 2000 model Formula 1 kits by Revell, that the wheels actually can rotate. So it's pretty evident that this is one of those kits. Okay, they did mention outside here. As you can see the side, this is scale number 3. That means medium level. Okay, 77 parts. On this side is just a big F2005 logo. Quite nice. And interestingly, at the back you have a lot of additional information. Alright, so there's some history on the Formula 1 2005 season here. Alright, and as you can see here, the kit is made in 2005. Okay, Revell GmbH, made and printed in Germany. Okay, so this kit is made in Germany, and they do show a nice picture of all the 3 main sprues and the body and things like that. Yeah, and you have this very cool officially licensed Ferrari product sticker here. It has like a 3D effect here, so you know that this kit is actually an official licensed Ferrari Formula 1 kit. Yeah, alright, so yeah, this kit is pretty much the same size as the B194. I'm just gonna put this here for comparison. As you can see, yeah, they're about the same size. The height is about the same. Alright, so that's pretty much all about the outside, okay, of the box. One last note I want to add is that yeah, some of these Revell Formula 1 kits, or Revell kits in general, right, the box opens this way. It opens like this. Alright, now I'm sure most of you would have seen that a lot of model kits, right, that the box has 2 parts. You have the inside and the outside cover. So you open the cover like this, right? You open the cover like this. So that is actually a very nice approach, yeah, because it makes sure that all the parts are actually in the base box, so to speak. Okay, and it's very difficult for the parts to come off, but if you have the box opening like this, I'm always worried that the instruction booklet or the decals can actually slide off, because there's always going to be a gap down here. Alright, so that's one thing I noticed about this Revell box. Okay, so not quite sure why they did that. Probably it's just cheaper to make a box like this, maybe. Okay, so that's pretty much the content of the kit. Okay, so we look at the instruction booklet first. Very nice. You have some history of the 2005 season. Actually, not even 2005, you can see 1950. So there's some history of Formula 1 here all the way until the bottom 2005 season. Right. Oh, that's the decal sheet here. I'm just going to put that aside first. Okay, so let's see. So it's written in various languages. Yeah, there's quite a lot of other languages here. I'm not sure what language is that. Right. Yeah, so these are the painting guides. interestingly, the bodywork of the car, they recommended to be a mixture of luminous red silky matte Ferrari red gloss plus clear gloss. Okay, so the bodywork, this is the color you have to paint for the bodywork. So I'm not sure, it really depends on you. If it was me, I would probably just grab the Tamiya bright red, okay, and just paint it bright red. I think that should be a good match. Or maybe you might want to look at Zero Paints, you know, some of their offerings. I'm sure they do have you know, a lot of Ferrari paints, so maybe you might find something useful there. Okay, so this car is driven by Schumacher and Barrichello. Oh yeah, which also reminds me, so Schumacher is a 7-time world champion, right? He won in 94, 95, and then he moved to Ferrari in 96, and it took him a couple of years to win his 3rd world championship in the year 2000. Okay, so it was 2000, he won 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004. Okay, so 2004 was his last, the last year that he won his driver's championship. So this car is actually the car that he drove in 2005. Alright, so this car is not one of the cars that he won his driver's championship in. But still, I mean, I think this car is a very attractive car if you look at it. Yeah, it's actually quite a very nice looking Ferrari model. Okay, so yeah, it's probably still worth to get it. So as mentioned earlier, the kit has engine details, which is interesting. Alright, so you can see, as usual, it starts off with the engine block. You do it, so it has very good representation of the suspension and things like that. Yeah, and oh yeah, and also I noticed that the 90s Revell Formula 1 kit, right, they have a lot of, I think I did mention also in the earlier B194 video, right, they've like they've lack of locating pins or gluing points and things like that. But the late or the 2000 ones are a bit different. There's a lot of improvements, okay, because I built the MP420 McLaren kit, and there was a lot of improvements. Okay, there's definitely more locating pins and things like that. So Revell definitely did improve on their kits over the years. All right, so as you can see, bodywork. Yes, right. Okay, this kit obviously comes with some the plank underneath the car. Alright, yeah, so as mentioned earlier, so the wheels on this kit should snap in place. Okay, not glue in place, it should snap in place. So that's why it would be rotatable. Okay, so this car actually represents the Magnicure France GP. Alright, so it doesn't have any tobacco advertising, but of course you can easily get tobacco decals through the various means online. Okay, so this is Schumacher's car, and this is Barrichello's. All right, so now let's look at the spruce. All right, so let's take out all the parts. Okay, oh, there's something here. What's this? Oh, it's a safety warning. Paint and glue for children over 8 years of age only. So yeah, all kinds of warnings. Alright, so we don't need that. Okay, so we have, as I mentioned earlier, right, this car has 3 main sprues. So you have the main one, which is the bodywork. Alright, molded in white. Okay, and then you have the second and third one molded in kind of I'm not sure what color this is. It's like greenish gray kind of color. All right, so I think Revell was very they smart in molding this in white. Okay, because obviously it's going to help with the painting process, right? Because you're going to paint this car bright red, right? So if the base is already white, all you have to do is just apply white primer, and then you can start painting your red. If it was a darker color, you might not be able to paint the white primer yet. You know, you probably have to use a gray primer first, you know, and then you use the white primer, and then you paint the red. So it's a good thing that they actually molded it white to actually help speed up the painting process. So I really like that. So you have the end plates here, all right, the front wing, okay, this is the rear wing end plates, and then yeah, there's a lot of other bodyworks. They even have the antenna in front of the car, okay, that will go on, for the radio transmission and things like that. And then you have some clear parts here. Okay, this is obviously the cockpit visor, and this is the rear brake light. All right, so pretty nice. Everything is molded nice, and it doesn't seem like it's too thick. All right, and, the scale seems just right, which is nice. Although this kit has engine detail, right, but the engine cover is actually molded together with the rest of the bodywork. You see, so I really doubt that you can actually view the engine once you completed the assembly of the model. You know, like the Tamiya one, you can actually open the rear rear bodywork to expose the engine, right? So this kit doesn't seem like you're able to do that. So if you spend too much time on the engine itself, I'm not sure if it's going to be worth it, because it doesn't look like you can open the engine. I mean the engine cover, you know. So that is something you have to think about, all right, whether you want to do that or not. If you're really brave, you might want, you might consider cutting the bodywork. I don't know, you can see if you want to do that. But yeah, if I'm building it, I'll probably just I won't pay too much attention to the engine, and I'll just build a nice curbside model, just to avoid any problems. Once you cut and all, you might have fitting problems between the front and the rear bodywork, things like that. So over here you can see, okay, this is the engine block, exhaust pipes, okay, these are valve covers, and then you have the seat here. Alright, the seat has molded in seat belts. I'm not sure if you can see, alright, but it does have the seat belts molded already in place. And you have the barge boards here, the wheels, okay, so the various suspension pieces, steering wheel. Alright, they already mold the plank, alright, the wood that is supposed to be at the bottom of the car. Okay, and I hope this turns out correct nicely for you. They even molded the grain of the wood. Okay, so it depends on you. Like for myself, I don't really like this, okay, because when I look at pictures of the rail plank on the actual car itself, it's very difficult to see the grain on the wood. All you see is just like a wood color, and then you see a lot of streaking lines of scratches of black and brown. So if I'm doing this car, right, I'll probably just sand off all this grain, and then just paint it or spray paint it some wood color, and then I'll just do some streaking, so that you can see the effects of scratches on the car. All right, so that's my opinion anyway. If you're happy with this kind of grain, yeah, you can still use it. Detail it, dry brush it, things like that. All right. So finally we come to the decals. Okay, so yeah, decals looks nice. As there's not many sponsorship, as you can imagine. That is a Ferrari car, so usually it has very little sponsorship, because I guess generally they don't even need so much sponsorship. So yeah, it does come with some carbon decals, which is nice. I think it's quite typical for Revell kits. I've built several, and most of them anyway, seems to come with some form of carbon decals. They even have carbon decals for the suspensions, which is nice. Yeah, so basically it just helps speed up the process of fixing the kit. You don't have to cut your own you don't have to buy your own decal sheet and cut it up and things like that. Everything is just here. All right. Okay, some rivet decals here, some silver decals here. I believe this should be for the mirrors. Okay, that's very interesting. All right, And here is the star belt decals for the seat belt. Okay, so once you paint the seat belt, you have to apply this decal. And it's interesting to note that these decals are designed and printed by Cartograph. Alright, so I'm not sure if you realize, but Cartograph is actually a very famed and reputable company that actually makes decals. Alright, so sometimes kit manufacturers, they make their own decals. Sometimes they ask or they outsource, you know, this kind of decals to companies like Cartograph. So Cartograph is actually very good. So that's a good sign that this decal is actually of high quality. Okay, and yeah, I've built, as mentioned earlier, I built the MP420, and I didn't have any problem with the decal, even though the kit was almost like 15 years old. So I don't expect any problems with the decals on this one. Alright, so for the tires, you see you have 4 nicely molded rubber tires that is applied with the kit. Okay, he has a nice 4 grooves, okay, correct to the year that the car was raced. One interesting thing I found about the tire is that it doesn't have any mold line along the middle. You know, most Formula 1 kits when you buy, you will see that there's this flash, or the mold flash around the middle of the car, like a ring. So you have to sand it down. Alright, so but this kit doesn't seem like it has that, which is really nice, and it's very interesting. So that saves a lot of sanding time. So you can choose not to sand. Okay, I do see a little bit here, but it's actually still quite hidden actually. So yeah, you can actually save a lot of time and effort, you know, on the sanding of this car. Alright, as you can see, yeah, no mold lines. Interesting. So thank you so much for watching this video, and do subscribe to my channel for more of this type of videos, as well as other more interesting videos on scale modeling. Thank you.